Welcome back to Game 4 of our Dream Team Finals. LPL will be selecting the blue side to start things off. That means first pick. They will want to know their priority and their strategies throughout the game.
Yeah.
Yes. They had a lot of time the last game to figure out those strategies to be ready for this one. We have a full reset. We had a break. Everyone is ready. Again, game 4, 2-1 LPL at the moment. Close games, at least if we judge from the last one.
Yeah, I mean, one was one-sided, the other one was one-sided, and then the last one.
Yeah, I realized that statement was very dumb. It was just the last game that was close,
I
but
mean,
that counts as well.
It was 80 minutes of gameplay.
There was 2 games, basically.
It's hard to remember game 1 at this point.
There we go.
Right. That's why I'm helping you out. Like,
Thank you.
We ran into the LMS team though in the restroom between breaks, and they were laughing. Carson was actually cackling.
Yeah.
He was just having a blast, and so now I'm kind of thinking, does that mean the LMS are going to go hard, saying we just played an 80-minute game, let's just throw all the cards down and try to even it up? If that happens, then it happens. If it doesn't, then 3-1 for LPL.
Who knows?
I mean, it sucks to lose, and it sucks even more to lose slowly, right, after a long game.
That's true. No Zoe, no Ornn, no surprises.
A lot of no's so far. Let's see if we get some yeses. The Jace
No
goes
Jace.
out. No Jace. Yeah, it's going to be some no's to start, I guess. We'll have to deal with it.
Well,
So will Ziv and the mid laners. 957 also not getting that Ornn. The only one to actually get it. And it was a bad idea for that team.
Yeah, it didn't even look like it was an incredibly well-practiced Ornn either, but it's just like Ornn is so busted. That was an Ornn versus Zoe game, too.
Malzahar as well banned out, so we see a little bit of that hit in the mid lane once again.
yeah, and last time we had the LPL on blue side, they banned Jin here, and then Sejuani got banned by LMS, and we had that, MF first pick situation, but they get rid of the MF. They don't want our first pick it. So we now have like Varus as a pick that's very contested. Jarvan, of course, is a very contested pick as well.
So
Sejuani.
the thing that's kind of like jumped out to me throughout this series is we're seeing like, these different matchups go back and forth, but the one that I feel like has been LMS favorite the whole time is Karsa, winning smite fights against MLXG, reading him in the first game. The second game, it was a lot of the same, and so I feel like if Karsa can get an aggressive jungler, might be able to do something there.
This LeBlanc ban also really tells me Azir comes in early again, and they kind of take away one of the answers to it, especially from GA. Also maybe kind of seeing if LPL actually was the first pick Azir, potentially, but they are sticking to their Sejuani, which is something we have not seen a lot of in this series.
Yeah, but remember I was talking about MLXG versus Karsa. You give him a more defensive jungler, something that can help engage, like hard engage, because we saw both Jarvan and the Sejuani banned in the last game, so it was kind of poking, not a lot of engage.
And I get that Sejuani is considered a very good pick for MLXG, but in terms of the actual value you're getting in this draft, it's not that high, because there's still so many good junglers available that Karsa can pick, especially like the Jarvan. There is the Azir available after you banned the LeBlanc yourself on the side of LMS, so obviously you get or you're trying to get a good matchup for Fofo, and you get the best AD carry for BP, so I really feel like this Sejuani just gave over a ton of power to LMS in the first rotation.
Yeah, and they might be able to secure Jarvan afterwards.
Yeah,
right?
Lee Sin, and they're like, great, we're happy.
It sounds really good, but now this is the thing. They're going to pick the Gnar early, so the LMS, do you want to pick Annie in this spot?
Oh, Ziv's Annie was not great.
Oh, but then you have your Jarvan banned away, so you might pick Jarvan here and then have Annie banned.
Yeah, I think I would be okay with that, and then just end up maybe playing a tank top lane against the Gnar, and just be a bit stronger for team fights, because again, the Annie pick was not great from Ziv's side. So I really like the Jarvan here, and I think if they do that, they have 3 of the best picks in the current meta locked in.
And you also haven't even seen Maokai hitting that ban list. So if you are thinking, oh, we will need a tank in the end if we take X, that's usually there throughout this series so far. Bans, however, for phase 2, and starting with the side of LMS.
Also, like, you have Jarvan against Varus now. Like, you can literally ruin Uzi's life in the mid to late game.
That means you probably ban Tom Kench unless you're going to pick it so that he can't save him.
Could be a choice, yeah, definitely. Tom Kench obviously is Tom Kench is great against Sejuani on one side, so LMS maybe want to play it. But as you said, like, it can be used to save Uzi as well.
I like the Kassadin ban here against GA because it pairs incredibly well with the Sejuani, with the passive level 6. So easy to gank for that lane.
You ban Ryze as well. If you are LMS, that has been one of the other picks we see against, or not against Azir specifically, but just we see it in the meta quite a lot.
Yeah. I'm unsure because I feel like the Tom Kench ban, unless you're picking it, should come through because I feel like keeping Uzi safe is just so valuable.
The one thing is, though, with Tahm Kench is he can't get out of the Jarvan ulti himself, so while he does...
Spit the guy out over.
Yeah, he can definitely try for that one, but then you can just kill the Tahm Kench.
They are going to ban the Tahm Kench away. Make sure that Uzi doesn't have that protection. They're probably picking their top laner here to counter the Gnar. And Annie may be left up, and they might just go for that.
I mean, they might go for the Annie. It seems pretty clear right now that LMS did not value it as such a high priority. It's still there, of course. I still think Maokai is fine. And, well, LPL agrees to get rid of the Maokai.
Is the Mao taken out. They cut the tree down. Still looking for supports on either side. Saw a little bit of love from that Leona earlier, as I was going to say, and they may actually go ahead and lock that one back in, giving themselves some more surefire initiation.
So
gives the Tahm Kench ban even more value.
Yeah. Now, Thresh for Mako is what I would think would come through. Thresh and Alistar are actually both fine here, but the Thresh gives you a lot of picking power, and it gives you an ability to keep Uzi safe later.
Lantern could definitely be valuable. Braum and Alistar, two other big tanks. Taric is actually something that is valuable against hard engage as well, but we've not seen it that much during this tournament, just a few times.
Yeah, I like the Thresh here because you can stop both the J4 and the Leona engage if you're on point, and it gives you a way to also engage yourself. So I feel all around it gives you a lot of versatility in that bottom lane.
And there's the Rise we mentioned earlier, so... Oh, actually, no. Maybe they want to change it up. Syndra instead. I miss Syndra. I feel like
you miss Syndra?
I do. I mean, I always liked her. I watch Syndra.
Interesting. So Talia, actually, a lot of people stopped playing Talia after she got changes to her mana costs because rushing Merc Treads wasn't that great, and you had to go Lost Chapter early.
Oh, that's your cannon, maybe.
We're seeing here, and yes, please, please, because it's so good into Gnar.
Lock it in.
Thinking about it. Annie's also in his mind. He's like, should I go Annie instead?
It's past 5. They're doing it. They're doing it. Past 5 seconds.
Yeah, let's go. I love the Kennen pick so much. As we get into the game and we see what he's got going for him, I'll talk more about it, but I'm excited about this.
They have a lot of initiation. Kennen can definitely get on target if he wants to, whether that's hit from Karsa or Sword Art. But what are we looking for the LPL here? Kind of a similar composition, but they are giving themselves some initiations.
Well, there is, of course, a lot of roaming potential from Talia, but I think there's a lot of risk in this LPL draft. Like, looking at Leona and Jarvan on the side of LMS, that's a lot of tools to kill Varus and Talia during this game. And Thresh in itself, yes, he can lantern out one guy, but that's hard if you're already getting chain CC. Then you're not getting out. And actually what teams can do, especially in the early game, is you can kill the Thresh. He's not that tanky. If you want to camp the bottom lane, you just go for him instead of the Varus.
Yeah, and we think about GA, the way that he was playing in the LPL, go to the bottom lane, help out Mystic, right? It was a bottom lane-centric team, and I want to see them try to do that here. They have so much CC, so much pick, and the roaming of the Talia can set that up, as the LPL are looking at match point to take the All-Stars Dream Team Championship.
And they are about to be on the Rift. We'll have to see what Runes Reforged they have chosen, as we also get that Kennen in the game, and said you'll talk about that one. We'll make sure to hit the top lane matchup in general. But it's also been, as we move down one slot, MLXG and Karsa, very big in the early game, whether they have been focusing that top lane or giving it to BB and Sword Art in the bottom. We'll have to see which way it switches up here for Game 4 of the Dream Team All-Star Final matchup.
And it looks like he has it. Ziv with the unsealed spellbook. So the reason I love this so much, you don't always take it to swap the summoner spells. Usually like a mid lane Malzahar, you'll swap it like once. This with the Kennen, the reduction of the cooldown of both your flash and your TP later, that's what Kennen wants to do. Flash ulti as AP Kennen. This also gives you ignite for lane pressure. And then the other thing on top of it that really helps it work is, remember when you have these new trees like sorcery, when you take it, it gives you adaptive AD and AP. So adaptive is whichever of the stat you have more of, it will give you more of. And Kennen will start with Doran's Blade. That gives you adaptive AD, so you have about 75 attack damage for the first few levels. Then after you've done like all of your harassing and trying to all in with Ignite and auto attack them down, you back, you buy AP, and then it swaps all of that AD from the sorcery tree into AP, so you get this burst of AP when you have your Hex Tech Gunblade, or I guess your Revolver. So you end up with swapping it over. So Kennen gets a lot of benefit from Unsealed Spellbook with a sorcery tree.
Interesting, messing with your kind of laner's resistances.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. We saw it in the Kespa Cup as well with like Misfortune, where they would buy like a Frost Fang on support, and then they'd buy a Serrated Dirk after they were done harassing with E and go for Q-Poke. So using the adaptive parts is something where I think from a design perspective, you were looking more for, you know, this will help both people, but there are some champions that can utilize and swap over.
Very interesting. You also decide to actually pull for Kasa down the bottom lane to see if maybe he can reach the top side even faster. Obviously with Ziv and this Kennen, everything you're highlighting right there, Zareen should give him a very strong laning phase where he can try and be a bully, and that's what you normally see with Kennen against Gnar. Typically then, if you are pushing early game as a Kennen, you need some backup for yourself, otherwise you could get early gank.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it can really kind of rain on your parade, and then you might have to swap to TP a little earlier than you want. But BB's already taking so much damage.
Getting in with those autos, making sure Mako gets his flay hit, passes damage on. And a nice piercing arrow coming in from Uzi. They'll keep it right up to the turret, but also kind of slow it down. Try to get another bit of a wave stacked up here to give a harass to LMS.
And we do now see Kasa already on top side again. He had that Leisha blue buff we highlighted. He's doing the Rift Scuttle at the moment, and it just makes it very easy for Ziv to just be a bully and just play super aggressive, knowing his jungler is nearby.
Yeah, but this will also give Karsa information that MLXG is near bottom. He can infer that from the camps that are taken here. And also the fact that, you know, saw 957 get to lane a little bit later.
Big bot for MLXG. Says, I'll be here if you see me needing assistance. But junglers are actually opposite sides of the map for really the first time. We won't see them gaining a counter or jungle gank before that level 3.
Yeah, and again, both teams kind of know, because on the LPL side, you knew that BB and Sword Art were pulling the blue buff.
Right.
And you're like, okay, so it's probably going to go blue, red, and be on top side. You're kind of calling that for your team. And the same thing you highlight before, Zareen, with, of course, MLXG on the bottom side. So no early ganks being pulled off just yet, but that's fine if you're Ziv. You don't need ganks. You just need to play 1v1.
And you could probably solo kill once you start getting more ranks into, I believe the W is what you usually like to max first. But if you're really good at Kennen and you just land those Qs with no follow-up, then that might be what we see him max. So keep an eye on that as he hits 4. It looks like it is Q for him. So yeah, he's just looking for the Q follow-up after his stun.
The bot lane setup, though, is kind of wacky right now with Ezreal and Leona. So you kind of are struggling in the early game right now with your BB. You're taking a lot of poke damage, but then you have an all-in support next to you who can't really all-in yet because you're low. It gives an interesting dynamic for them, but if Sword Art can actually all-in onto someone like Uzi, then Leona's early game is super good. Like, a lot of base armor. She got 20 added when the new runes came into the game. Her W got buffed as well, 5 more armor on that one. And, of course, with Aftershock, even more tankiness and damage. So she's actually really strong if she can finally connect onto the enemy AD carry.
Yeah, but I like that Mako is just standing on top of Uzi, babysitting him. He's just making sure that he'll be able to play whatever comes up.
Yep.
It is the tough part.
It usually becomes a thing where you can actually get in your 80's way. They're like, all right, stop, I get it. You're helping me. You're in my way, though. But he's staying just behind him, ready to walk up front. Or like you said, that Zen played flay.
So what Sword Art can do is be a little bit annoying and move up and use the E where he, on purpose, will actually miss it just to the side, just to see if there's instantly a flare reaction happening for Mako. Ooh.
One
Test
after
him.
the other.
Lose all lane pressure for a moment just to test him, but they don't have pressure at all in the first place. So MLXG, though, trying to affect mid. Talia actually backed here, so
Like a little bit of pressure. He's kind of taunting. Why would he taunt like that?
he flashed.
Flash blown there by Fofo as he thought he was just going to be able to walk away from the situation.
Yeah,
Interesting.
got caught there. I mean, that's a worth gank where your mid laner is back. Now he's going to get a better back timer and maybe even freeze here because the minion wave is pushing towards him.
So much follow-up damage. You can see BB's health bar on the bottom right of the screen, and basically lanes can get like that. You either are full health and farming, you're farming from no health, and you continuously stay there.
Yeah, he's constantly throwing out Qs like, give me a health potion. Like, he's just hoping for one. He's going to back now, though, get his tier right on point.
Talk more also about the Kennen top lane. You already highlighted the spell book. The rest, in terms of his runes, currently in this game here, he has perfect timing. Obviously, as you can see with the Hourglass. Then he has Futures Market. Try and make sure on his first few back, he can really get a lot of value right there.
Interesting.
And then also running, in this game here at least, with Cosmic Insight, so a bit more CDR. And interestingly enough, Ultimate Hat from Sorcery as a second tree. So it is truly all about the ultis, flash ulti in, and try and be as strong as possible with that.
Flash ulti. Oh,
Low.
No
So,
follow.
like, BB's like, no, my
Oh,
minions are
fight
in the
him.
turret. I don't really want to fight right now. Let's not do anything. Still Ignite and flashes up for the bot lanes. It's an exhaust on the side of Mako. So you guys, your point's being proven even more that Sword Art has wanted to just go in this lane probably, but BB rather, take too much damage from the poke.
And lucky for him in this matchup, it's tier to tier is how it usually will start with the Varus. But the Varus does have a little more in terms of offense with the long swords that Uzi has picked up. It's not like the guy's rushing straight to dirt, first item like the Misfortune. So little easier for the Ezreal.
But it is a little bit unfair that Varus can shoot his E past the minions and actually hit you, and your Mystic Shot will always just hit the first minion instead. You also get slowed down, so you can't dodge the combat that flies, and there's just more poke. Right now for Uzi, you can see land quite a few of these straight on to BB, and you gotta utilize that advantage as Varus, because later on in the game, your value is not as high as an Ezreal's, because you will have to deal with Jarvan and Leona trying to kill you in every single fight, and it makes it very hard to auto-attack as a Varus, and that's why his early game is so important. And if BB can just keep his tower alive and try and like get as much farm as possible, then he's actually doing his job.
And that's kind of what it is right now, 68 to 49. You gotta think what and how much does BB have to dodge in this lane? Is it a hook? Is it a flay? Is it a piercing arrow? And there, they consider that fight very well, coming up just a bit in the advantage of HP. But CA finding his way down to the bot side, ultimate ready.
6.
Weaves a wall that could be very poor here for the LMS. Sword Art is the focus. Will he be able to flash from the wall? Oh, the hook back over. He says, you aren't going anywhere. And now Fofo trying to see what he can do. Not close enough for an Emperor's Divide. That flash was blown in lane versus MLXG's game.
Both top laners had used teleport to get back to lane, so they couldn't affect this bottom fight. And that was just a superior roam from Xie. And like I was saying at the start, this is a Taliyah that wants to roam, and the way he was playing in the LPL with Mystic, bottom lane focus, that's what I want to see here.
And in his second tree in this game here, it's domination. He has Relentless Hunter, so he gets more out of combat movement speed if he gets some takedowns. He just got the first one in this game. That's very important for him.
Let's see how he did it here.
He's going to move so quickly. Taliyah with the passive up against walls, worked ground, and then down on top of it, right here. Sword Art, kind of beat it, bro. And then BB with the E over. And MLXG not quite hitting it, but look at that. The flash blown from Sword Art right into the hook.
Yeah, worst feeling ever. He tried to get behind the minion so the hook wouldn't land, but he was just not fast enough. The booty got caught, and he died.
Mako,
You gotta get that
snatching it up.
booty with you, otherwise you die.
I always forget. No,
Always
leave it
forget.
behind.
Oh well, next time, there's always another. Last time, Mako gets it this one. Sword Art gonna be looking to keep himself very safe now as the bot lane actually towards mid. All summoners down for them, so they do have to kind of take a breath, farm it up, get themselves back into a good position.
Yeah, we got double Moby Boots early on from the supports. No one rushing Sidestone this game here, so we should see a lot of roaming from them. Sword Art will struggle to get out of lane just because Uzi will keep pushing in against BB, so oftentimes you're just stuck under that tower and you're waiting for the second Taliyah roam, and it doesn't feel good.
I think they found a bit of the formula here. Winning that bottom side of the map, putting their mid laner on a roaming champion, because they've had pressure in multiple games against BB. And with this matchup, where they have superior wave clear and poke, using it early, you can see that CS advantage already coming through.
Yeah, keep getting some damage on turrets, wait for next big ulti, and then you can make the exact same play we just saw before here. 957's TP is on cooldown right now, but it will be up fairly soon, and then he just saves it. And he's ready to join as well.
Mako looks very, very close to hitting, and BB has to continuously skirt around just to get his farm in. As we said, also looking for the piercing arrows. But on the bot side isn't the only aggression. Mid is also about to find
Well, the thing is, Fofo has to try and keep GA in lane and maybe get some vision of this area. But this is now LPL territory, and they caught Karsa.
Wham! Glacial Prison locks him up. Can Karsa get it? Oh! The flag drag play as Mako comes to play 2-0 as we're coming up on 11 minutes in the game, and MLXG is a benefactor of that one.
Great play, and Karsa is stuck in this situation where he feels like he needs to be bottom side to help defend to stop his bot lane from dying, but that means he doesn't snowball anything. He doesn't go top lane and get the cannon ahead. He's just stuck down here where he's a lot weaker on this bottom side. And great ulti from MLXG, then the Moby Boots paying off for Mako to get in range, and then flash plays.
The flash play backwards to end up stuffing him there. Mako, so far so good.
It's that booty again. Not getting out.
That's some big hits. Those hooks are going to hit. Sword Art trying to walk through the box.
BB
But that may be the box that BB goes down. Oh, he switched to Chain of Corruption. Hitting its target.
Uzi with the snipe there. Not with the ability that you would expect, though.
Oh, I figured it was going to be a move forward auto. Focused on Sword Art and over the shoulder. Hook shot. Takes out BB.
So we're actually going to try to hold this. And hey, you can see both Uzi and Mako are like, what are you doing? Stop that.
Well, Kasa's on the way.
Got
He's
him.
baiting.
A little more defense from the W. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Mako to first start tanking the
Gotta,
turret.
like,
No,
eat
it goes
now.
to Uzi. They have to be very careful. And that potion that Sword Art just chugged keeps him alive.
First, trying to hold the wave maybe before he's
Yeah.
carried, and secondly,
Yeah, it would have been a good bait. It would have been a good bait.
Would have been a good one.
They have a control ward in the brush, but right there, another play from Mako.
Misses the ult right
No,
after.
no.
Oh, sucks for Sword Art right here. The fact you can't get in with your E, then you miss your ult as well, and ulti takes down BB. That's not something I see very often.
No, being sniped with a Chain of Corruption is the final killing blow. Almost never.
Now,
Yeah.
now you know not to do it to somebody because it'll fizzle.
Yeah.
Don't hit the guy that's going to die.
Mako pretty much played that as well as he could. Aside from the hook going a little wide, the box coming down for the slow, the exhaust at the right time, and look at this. MLXG on the Sejuani already able to affect the lanes a little bit better than the previous game. Picking up the pace. 3-0.
That's something that doesn't feel good either. Ziv's been like, I'm farming great, we're doing okay, I'm only a few behind. Oh wait, no, I don't own this lane anymore at all. Wait a minute. So the map is being heavily affected. Mako on point. The one at the turret, a little bit easier to read because Sword Art's going to want it. That was in the middle of the lane. He is on point.
This is what Mako fans have been looking for,
Wow.
right? That thresh, that pick that he is known for a lot of the times. Right there, every single time. I feel like he's standing right on top of Uzi, the flay, stopping almost every single engagement with Sword Art.
And meanwhile, up top lane, the Gnar is not really losing this lane because of the AP cannon, who obviously can't bully as hard as the old AP cannon we used to see. So at the moment, LPL are doing well in every single lane.
Yeah, 957 played it really safe, and Ziv never got to even use Ignite. Swapped it over to TP before he even got a chance to all
He's
in.
using it right now, bot lane.
And there it is.
Far behind, Lantern over to the right side. He actually cancels that on Fountain, so we'll be able to get back to lane.
It is so beautiful to watch a support just protect his AD carry like this. Like Flays, the Lantern here, using the Moby Boots to get further away. Like just great knowledge from Mako.
In the fog, trying to stun lock and get Karsa there.
Oh, I don't know if Ziv wants that. He jumps off early. Wow, I'm like, he actually gets out of this one alive. They drop Karsa, and they want more. They say, put down the Weaver's wall so we can weave a few more kills. The LPL.
The pick after the pick after the pick. The constant CC chains are coming through, and they are making this bottom lane's lives miserable.
This is exactly what you need as an LPL fan after that 80-minute game. A strong early game performance where they're snowballing. MLXG gets caught at first, but after all the CC, he just gets out, throws the ulti back, swag move.
That was like Talia seismic shove to finish off Karsa. And then as the Leona's flashed away, Chain of Corruption #2 for the game comes out.
LPL on fire out of the gates here. 5 kills in 15 minutes.
And now don't slow down.
No, don't slow down.
5,000 gold lead. You just killed that bot lane tower. Get Uzi in a new lane where you can kill another turret or take down an early Drake. Just do something
All right.
to keep pushing the pace.
Wild card, no breaks.
And you actually see they're going mid. Mako.
Whoa. You might be able to pull himself back. Mako's still pretty tanky, but not enough under the turret. Uzi's in a bad spot. This is a chase from Sword Art for the team. Calls him off as they don't want to fully go for the fight.
I'm not even mad.
Oh,
Do
they didn't
something.
fully call him off. They get the iron or the solar flare down. Very nicely done. And CA moves a little too far forward. Now you can be even happier.
They did something. It wasn't great, but they did something.
Yeah, they tried to rotate mid, and it looked like the LMS thought that it would be a rotation to top. BB was on his way there. With Sword Art, of course, as a support, you don't run straight to the lane. You go to the river, and you saw the Leona up top. It's like, okay, I'm not going to come down now. And immediately responding to seeing Mako in mid lane. And they just collapsed. That was a great shove back from Popo. And Mako with no flash, because he's been making plays left and right.
It's all about that confidence from the early plays you made. You gotta keep going, man. Yeah, he was gonna land an Uzi into that one, and he got knocked into the tower, and his mid laner will die as well right after. So 2 kills now for the LMS to get a bit of goal back in this game here, but
Whoa!
Zip.
That's when you can't stop your finger. It's already in the motion.
Yep.
Pressing ultimate. They should be able to get the final kill here. And
Blasco.
no, skirts away from the blast cone. Not going to find the hook. Q doesn't go over the wall with the Arctic Assault. Just kind of gets himself stuck in the pine trees. They head out of the forest. Jungle's now Karsa's. They got to get some vision down there before they lose any more ground.
And top lane, they've already lane swapped this here. And this is better, I think, for the LMS because now they have 2 people on the turret. That's a little easier to take than the mid one. Against this Azir, the wave clear in mid might be enough to hold up, but LMS looks like they're just rotating.
Yeah, some big plays right now from the LMS. Ziv staying alive, getting those 2 kills. Fofo still just free farming in the mid lane. You gotta see here with GA on this Talia. Low mana at the moment, so can't really make any plays, but Mako and Uzi looking for more picks.
Yes, flashes are down. Just rotate around. Look for sword art. Hit him with a chain of corruption or a hook.
So much stronger at this point. Just like the health of MLXG allows them to take erroneous fights and still continue them. Gotta make sure you don't lose Mako first. The 2 kills going over to LMS were a bit of a greedy play coming in from the LPL.
Confidence play.
Confidence. That's a good way to put it. And now we're at 18 minutes here, just under 20. So Rift Herald still tempting both teams, but seems like it will just despawn itself with the action we have here. Maybe not.
Oh, they're gonna
Action
fight up here.
MLXG found Karsa.
But how far will it go? A few handshakes back and forth. They learned this in elementary school, and now they add Mako. A few new challengers come into the fight, and Uzi and Mako to get the assist there. And now another person comes up slowly. CA starts to move.
This Sejuani Thresh combo is working really well at the moment for the LPL team. So much CC being applied. You can even pull people back a little bit.
I think this is the most engaged we've kind of seen today. Game 1 was pretty close in terms of how much we had, but now it's like these fights, you can't really avoid each other. People are going to be flashing each other's face, and then as soon as you flash away, the next one, right? This is going to continue.
Keep fighting.
Oh, this turret goes down as well. A big surge in gold there. Maybe finishing some core items here for the LPL as they continue their dominance of the early to mid game here. Few more hits from 957 on the bottom until he feels uncomfortable in his position. CA back to mid. Good rotations from him, picking up blue, back to mid. 220 to 204 in that mid lane. Both mid laners still could have a very big impact on this game. Haven't seen too much from Fofo to start.
Yeah, Fofo, well, looks like he has the 2 penetration items, and it looks like both him and Ziv do. So they're trying to pop those squishy members who don't have any MR, right? We don't have the Merc Treads on DA. We don't have Uzi with any MR either. So having that extra, because it was changed on Sword Shoes to 18, so it's 33 magic penetration, really helps blow people up.
Take it! That's rude. That's rude.
Time to Drake here. LMS actually moving down. They might want to fight. She is showing top lane.
Yeah, I think they definitely want to fight.
They go in a bit of a pinch here. He is going to go down immediately, but they used the ultimates on a very low health member, and we see MLXG get out of the fight. That ultimate is down as the rest of LMS sorts themselves out on top of this fight. They are going to have positional advantage, but they have to be careful with low HP.
Oh, here comes Talia.
Yeah, they're waiting for that wall.
Weaving through, didn't decide to take the ride. And she's going to go ahead and passively move around the top side as they push LMS off. Nice job controlling on that Drake.
They're doing Cloud Drake still. MLXG and 957. There they go.
Pretty hectic, but good save. Mid turret push now as LPL kind of routes LMS into that mid lane. Looks like 957 going to get some good damage on the right side, trying to take turret aggro. Uzi's hit at the same time. Damage on the turret is what they need, and they did focus it right away. Beautiful chance to get in there. Hit by 957, throws LMS against the wall as they get confidence while the turret goes low, and BB is trying to fire back and stop the onslaught.
Again, LPL here constantly trying to push for more turrets, more objectives. MLXG took a lot of damage before the fight even started and stayed in anyway, but managed to get a 1-for-1 and a mid lane turret, so I call worth it.
I'll go with you on that one. We'll see it again, and we can even double determine if it's worth it.
So well done here from 957. Oh, the flash to reposition, and then the Gnar. That was pretty much everybody out of that fight. Oh my god, oh, okay. Ziv sold his broken stopwatch. I know you're going to eventually build the Zhonyas you would hope on Kennen, but he just wanted more gold to start getting towards item spikes faster.
The red buff.
80 carries mortal enemy. It happens all the time in North America.
Oh, will he do it again? Will it reset? Ah, got it.
Nope.
We weren't allowed to see it though. I'm also still waiting for Ziv to kind of land that big flash ulti.
Yeah.
We were kind of waiting 80 minutes in the last game as well for him to do it on Annie. I think we got one at the end.
You're right.
But
Yeah.
in
So
this
what you're
one
saying
here,
is you're still waiting.
I'm definitely still waiting. He's on this cannon here. He didn't manage to bully the lane, so that wasn't too great for him. Obviously, that's one of the problems with the AP cannon. It's not as strong in the early game. But now, rank 2 ultis there. Leandris is ready. No hourglass, of course, so it's a bit risky, but you gotta get in there. Protocol is coming. We need that big flank ulti from Zip, otherwise they're gonna lose the fight.
And I feel like the beauty of the spellbook is you get to fish for it more. If you go for a TP flash and you make the play,
Hold on. Follow-up damage. That's the ultimate coming in from Mako. They decide to commit just a little bit. And yes, Xie is able to make it over to the side and help his team out on the wing. They pick up another kill. And that is going to be Sword Art down as LPL moves to the middle turret.
I try a set of a tower dive mid here. We have 957 moving around on the Gnar. Mako and MLXG on the other side. But still a little bit too early for them to start the Baron just by killing the support. They're looking for damage on mid turret. Ooh.
Now what BB wants to get, doesn't have too much sustain himself. Sejuani ult from the side, a little bit of zoning, if you will. It doesn't look like LMS buys it. Bofo says we're going in, we can still protect this with those ultimates down, and LMS puts their foot down.
yep. And Ziv completed the proto belt here. And like I was saying with the unsealed spellbook, if you flash and teleport behind the person, you're going to have it on a shorter cooldown than if they TP and answer. And even if people flash away from you. So you'll have about a 90-second plus window where you can try to make that play again, and they wouldn't be able to flash away.
It's gonna be hard for him though to push the Gnar actually away in the side lane. Gnar should be able to do more than fine there. At least they can TP together, as you said. And then
If you can get his TP, it's actually a win for you with unsealed spellbook most of the time. It's the feed to win, Kennen. I saw Smep do it, where he jumped in, he gets everybody's flash, and he dies. He has the most deaths on his team, but then the next time he does it, he gets like 4 people and it's the hero play. Scoreline won't be beautiful, but you can, you know, clip it, put it in montage. Make sure you get rid of all the bad Kennen ultis, put all the good ones in.
it will never beat the Smep ulti though for World.
That's true.
No matter what. That was one of the greatest moments ever and one of the saddest moments ever as a European fan.
That's right. It was, I swear it was shrouded by the Nocturne. They couldn't see it.
Oh man. We cheered and we cried.
Bot Ziv and 957 as he turns on Mega Gnar. Back down to just a tiny, cute little fuzzy Gnar. Heads to the jungle, make sure he has a little bit of security in that vision system he's putting down. As well as why not try to deny a blue. Might be Ziv's Q. Fight for this one. Little cheeky things happening right now. And that was a good cheeky one for Ziv.
Well, now that everyone is taking the game so serious, like we need to see the LPL actually be much cleaner around Baron. Like I wasn't really gonna talk about Baron vision and setup doing also anything, but Game 2 was a huge issue for them where they got super far ahead of 20 minutes and then they spent basically another 20 minutes on actually closing it out. That's something in this game here they should be able to do much, much cleaner.
Yeah, especially since it's 4 turrets to 0 right now. They should have all the waves be able to be pushed
They have
out.
it all. They have the winning split pusher on the side as
You've
well.
seen this before.
They have all the options to get full control of enemy topside jungle and kill all the wards, have multiple control wards down to just choke out LMS and then start the Baron and force a fight or just secure the Baron.
The Yomus to get to the Scuttle Crab faster. I mean, I haven't seen it before.
Get to the honey fruit. His honey fruit.
There you go.
True. It's good fruit. What is the push now? LMS, we talked about it a little bit before here. They are approaching these fights a little more confidently, but not taking them as much. They want to win these games. How much that would mean is huge. As BB charges up the flash, he gets out of the glacial prison just in time. Siv's gonna go down to the bot side though, as 957 drops him basically solo, but the finishing touches from CA.
And it was all a distraction around the Baron right
It's a
there.
ruse.
MLXG went in with their crazy engage because everything was happening bot lane when they secured the kill, but it does mean they can't actually use the kill at the moment.
Mountain
They
break.
will, Starman probably would have gotten it anyway, but they will get it now without anyone trying to fight them, and then they can go back after to take down that Baron.
Yeah, at least it's something they start pushing the game forward a little bit more with that kill. We'll see
I like
here.
the kill a lot.
Ziv, I think he initiated this, right? Yeah, he did. He goes for the stun, but then 957 is transforming, and then Ziv, you see that's the Oak Crab Proto Bell, where you're just like, I made a mistake, and he has to try and get out.
That was blue buff transfer as well. He still had that from earlier, so CA picks himself up with blue buff for the mid lane. He's roaming himself around. Actually, he's heading towards top, so it looks like they will start to initiate that split push about 40 minutes sooner.
The LPL team forgot to get some control wards on the way out, so now they can't kill all these red wards from the LMS, at least not easily, and that means LMS will have enough vision around Baron to see if anything is happening. So, we go back to the bottom lane when 957 is trying to be the big hero.
Split push is working for like one of the first times in the series.
Has he been the best performing player doing All-Star? At least in the 5v5. He's up there at least.
Yeah, he is up there for sure. Bringing out like the Annie for the first time.
Which was really good.
That is true. Versatility,
His Nar's been spot on.
Yeah.
role play.
Yeah, Fofo's up there, Karsa, Levi. Right.
Of course.
But oh wait, I mean, we're seeing a lot of people in this game so far do quite well. I think even Uzi having a really good start for himself. Now he's got a whole bunch of
Absolutely.
items. And I mean, winning this, the championship for Uzi. He's got 2. Hold on.
You know, I almost said MLXG too, and I cursed him about thinking about it, because his play against LCK was fantastic, but here he gets cut out by LMS.
Oh, this is like his 4th time.
Yeah.
Feels like game 2 all over again now, where there is this lead for the LPL and they're going for
Oh,
fight.
the Karsa.
Karsa low, he is going to get burned down. The Leandres continues to shred away at his HP bar, and the True Shot Barrage comes through, just kind of passing wind over LPL. They feel comfortable to stay 10-5 here. They're ready to trade.
Yeah, and look at where the kills are, at least I mean the deaths are for the LMS. It's on the people who would be walking forward, and the same for the LPL, right?
Yep.
People who have to walk forward and even place wards, you're getting caught out, you're getting picked. It's like 5 deaths for Karsa, 3 there for Sword Art. These guys who have to engage, everybody else is in the back line. They're waiting until a good engage lands.
Sure, a good friend MLXG needs to be close to his support so he can get Lantern out in case the enemy's in there, but obviously he got knocked further back by the Azir, so it was a little nugget. Nice.
Whoa! How did BB live through that? Seismic shove and the kitchen sink thrown at him. Gets himself out with everything
heal.
he has. Heals, summoner spells, and flash arcane shift. Baron now down to 6,700 HP. Slowly
Nice
moving
wall.
in is Karsa, and he's gonna have to get to the bottom side.
Karsa can get in there.
1900, 12,
Oh,
6.
yeah,
Karsa
Karsa!
steals the Baron and goes down. About how many members of LMS can make it out?
I mean, Kasa's done it before. No
And
surprise
before,
doing
and
it
again.
Keeps LMS in this game. If they lose that Baron, it's over. They will lose the entire base, but he steals it. The wall didn't actually manage to block Kasa from getting close enough to the Baron pit that he could still EQ over.
That would have been detrimental. 957 still had a minion wave on the bot side turret. Instant Baron for him would have been perfectly good. That stopped so much.
And if we get a replay, we have to see where Mako was positioned, because it's also
Yeah.
his job to flay the
Here,
Jarvan
again.
when he's trying to jump in. So he's standing at the front. That's the first pick. That's great. They almost kill BB. He stays alive. Starting the Baron here is also perfectly fine, because they have the Talia wall. They have multiple members in the Baron pit. There's no AD carry. So let's see here. Mako is 50% HP, and the wall here does not block Kasa from getting to the Baron pit. And Mako is
Oh, he's not even close. Not even looking at him.
not even looking at him. He tries to hook him in the air, but just stand there
The
and
hook.
flay. Just stand there and flay the guy when he's about to jump over.
Even if hooked over that wall, he would have just been smiting on the way through his flag and drag. So interesting choice to play. And Carson comes up very big for the team. We'll see how they react to this. They still look to be defending a bit. As the minions start to push up, though, they'll get a little more advantage on the map.
And I thought this was the game where MLXG was going to start getting, his revenge for over Carson for this whole series, where Carson's been on top. Carson got picked early in the jungle by the Sejuani ultimate. Carson's been feeding a little bit, 1-6, and then that happens. And it just seems like Carson's won almost every Smite fight in the series, at least the 3 that I can remember.
The most important thing for them.
Yeah.
Smiting.
I mean,
that's how you determine if they're good or not.
Exactly. Carson lost the last game, went in, got the smite on the Baron, and he was still all smiles. Like, I did my job.
It's always the tricky thing as a jungler with their smites people are trying to steal there, because so much of it is also luck. When it's like... When it is a 50-50, technically, it should never be, because you can also coordinate with your team when you actually, just like nuking down the Baron, and then you can time the smite. But randomly, this guy slides in, he gets it, and skill, luck, both things matter.
A little bit of both. With big CA in that mid lane, we see him top side rather. 6-1 and 2, 350 CS to 313. Fofo is probably going to go up soon as they are forced to clear these waves getting pushed in right now with their Baron, which sounds odd. There are only 45 seconds of that left, but really, that was a kind of a pause button for LPL that LMS was able to create by stealing that with Carson.
Yeah, and it allows them to hit some item spikes. This Azir now has the Void Staff. The Kennen also has the Void Staff. There's so much penetration on this team that you're seeing Uzi saying, all right, gotta get them off. And in the mid lane, this guy is incredibly squishy now. GA, though, does have the Rylai's for a little bit more HP. But yeah, if you can get on top of him with these 2 mages that have a lot of penetration, might be able to obliterate a whole team.
Still waiting for that Kennen flash.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the ulti. I've seen like 1. Is ultimate hat even close to stacked?
All right, Ziv, rank 3 now. 3 AP items completed.
TP.
He's sitting in base right now. Is there any wards behind he can TP on? There is one down there near the Drake.
Just pinged it.
That's where you got. That's where you got to hustle.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, from the backside, is the fight too early? Flayed out. Uzi's dead immediately. Karsa with his eyes on
Here
the
he
prize.
comes.
Mako going down. Ziv is in the fight, and he says, hey, CA. He goes down. And there it is, Irene. Smile across your face and the LPLs.
It was just a Kennen TP and flash. It's not like
sorry,
until
LMS.
Felbo held him there.
The LMS.
But yes, the LMS comes out on top. He did it! He finally did it. Went in,
Got a kill.
and he got a broken stopwatch again now.
There we go.
All right, yeah. But LMS, that's going to give them a turret after the fact that Karsa stole that Baron. Now they'll get some structures back.
Yeah, it's been some big plays right here from the LMS to get back in this game. They're trying to even out the goal
This
score
might
as
be
well.
2.
I mean, they're going to get another turret in the bottom, and that's for sure.
Cloud
Baron.
Drake on the retreat.
Baron still pays off in the end.
I mean, it still
yeah,
gave him gold.
enough time to stave off and, like you said, get those core items.
176.
I believe the Baron power play actually counts the gold you get for killing the Baron as well.
Ooh, we're going to get another fight here. MLXG, he wants to go for it. 957 is on the way with Mininar, though.
All right.
They'd have to stall for quite a while before you actually have.
Yeah, Bash Brothers initiation here. They're going to lose about half of their HP, which is interesting because it still looks like they can initiate the fight, but choose not to. LMS very prepared in these skirmishes.
This is the push away so you can get the Cloud Drake and occupy that space.
Right.
Kind of that vacuum of power. But yeah, Uzi hit right on the head with the ultimate there, and Mako still even gets the flay, and Uzi flashes, but then just, if you want that Varus dead with this composition, hey, he's gonna die.
I love how Zip comes in and it looks great with the flash roll. I'm not even sure he needed the flash right there. He was kind of like, oh, just one guy. But anyway, he just wanted to do it. He wanted to show he could do it, and he did. Uzi, though, for the next few fights, there should be a QSS coming in soon to avoid that kind of Leona ult from happening.
He literally has it now after that.
There we go. Uzi picks it up, realizing he needs it to stay alive. Should be better for the next fight. And now there's no flash engage from Zip just yet. A few more minutes.
We'll see here, it's actually 86 seconds on it. It's a 210-second cooldown flash and teleport total. He also has Cosmic Insight in there, so it's a 3-minute, 30-second summoner spell as opposed to 5. So that gives him a 90-second window to work with when he has the advantage.
They want to gank 957.
He's
Mega
not.
Narge jumps right out of the flag and drag. He's going to go ahead and 1v1 on the other side as CA gets dropped in the jungle. Ziv going to keep himself alive with a quick lightning rush at the end.
But that's Fofo picking up 2 kills, and they got the flash out of 957. And GA.
The crazy comeback is happening right now. It starts with the Baron steal into a 1-team fight, and now in the side lane, the LPL team thought they could actually gank Ziv. Nah.
Not today. And you can see they backed immediately. Time to go to Baron. Up in 13 seconds, and that will be before both 957 and CA are back up. So they'll be able to get damage on it, and only one of those guys has TP even joined.
Oh, there might be another fight here.
Oh my
for the support.
word! Right onto Mako, instantly down. Says nobody else can be saved from the fight now, or get blocked off by that box. If you want to fight us, we're right back on you.
They're gonna get this Baron as well here, unless Uzi and MLXG can stop it, but MLXG wants to try and get a steal. Nope. That's how you deny a jungler from getting into the Baron pit.
You throw everything at him. Throw your face, throw the R, everything.
Get out of my face.
Yeah, Fofo just he put himself in front of him just in case, because the Sejuani Q will stop on the first champion hit.
Yep.
So, no, make sure that nothing happens there.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's Fofo in the bush. They did not suspect that he would be there, and he had a control ward. That was really, because it looked like they were ready to take a 2-on-2, not the 3-on-2.
Plus 3 soldiers.
Just a really good bait right there, like hiding in the brush. You don't expect it. I think it's just an easy kill on the cannon in the side lane. Ends up costing them the Baron. Gold lead. It's gone. It's dead even right now.
And that play isn't something we saw in the other games either. That would have been 5 minutes of tiptoe warding and then a little bit of movement. But you see, LPL tries to pull the trigger, LMS is ready.
Yeah, and from like a vanilla strategy standpoint, there's no reason for the Azir to be there, and that's what makes that a good
True.
play. Because he
Yeah,
should
exactly.
be
Why
somewhere
is
else.
this guy here?
Exactly. So you go, he should be over here, and your assumptions are then used against you. It was perfectly executed there from the element.
So what you're saying is it's not the LPL's fault. Then.
I'm saying if they're playing it by the book, yeah.
That one was a good play by LMS for sure.
Absolutely.
Earlier with the
Absolutely.
Baron, that was on LPL.
Gold, very, very close, only within a few hundred. Pocket change here for both these teams, coming up on 40 minutes in the game. Piercing arrow from Uzi.
Whoa.
I mean, I know going at a lot of skill shots is one way to get out of them, but a hook, that takes some balls.
That's the Dark Souls dodge where you roll into the guy, and it's like, I have my iframes right about now.
BB really playing with fire right now, but the rest of the team is lit up and ready to go right behind him. They take down mid. They got a nice wave behind it, all baroned up. Continue the damage on this second turret.
Ooh.
Quick cleanse as that looked to be MLXG's in. They find Garza on the outside. 1 in, 1 out. Mofo goes in on the flag. And then
Sending it in.
a shuffle.
Fire!
It's in, save under the turret. That's going to be the slicing Maelstrom, slicing straight through the entire team of the LPL. Kills are for BB as he soaks up the triple.
We got the big engage right there with the cannon.
Oh,
even
Quadra!
They're just gonna finish the game now.
Yeah, push up.
Is going to put a timer on the LPL, and it looks about 48 seconds.
BB has the only pentakill so far of the tournament. They're gonna try to go for 2.
But possibly it has quite an extension on it if BB can still get some shots over to CA to keep that alive. They're going to say Nexus. CA says walk this way. They say we're not paying attention. There's a few more shots. The kill goes over to Fofo. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a game 5 for these dream teams.
What a turnaround. Just like in game 2, LPL win the early game. They look so far ahead. But then when they have to play around this Baron, everything just falls apart. The game 2 one was close. This game, Casa steals the Baron. And then they win a fight in the bot lane. They surprise 957 and GA. And suddenly, the goal lead is gone.
They were containing Karsa for like the whole early part of the game. He's sitting at like a 1-5 scoreline. Steals the Baron, and that's really the play that gets them back in to allow themselves a foothold back in the game. Karsa, he is fearless.
The man of the hour, or at least man of game 4.
It's been about an hour since the last since those 3 steals have happened.
Got a
So
point.
Definitely learned
Absolutely.
that we can't fully trust the LPL if they get a massive lead. Like, yeah, okay, they won game 2, you know, they were really far ahead, but this game, you know, same kind of lead. not the same end result.
Exactly. But after that 80-minute game 3, if we did not have a game 5,
I know.
it'd be so bad.
It would just feel wrong to not have a game 5 after such a long series.
All the marbles.
And even more ready for it after that game 4 because they definitely, both teams were connecting with more decisiveness, figuring out what they wanted to do.
Sure, that was great. Yeah,
right.
agreed.
We didn't have the 5-minute ward fests and then everybody walks to go get more wards. So hopefully that game 5 is going to give us what we want. For more on how the LMS tied this series, however, let's send it over to Dash and the analysts.
Thank you very much, Riv. Exasperated faces back here as we're trying to make sense of what's going on in this best of 5. But either way, we are going to a 5th game. These two teams, I think they must have heard that this is the last competitive series of 2017. They wanted to give us as much League of Legends as they possibly could, and we're going to a game 5.
Yeah, and Karsa giving us some good League of Legends. I mean, a lot of these Baron steals, I know it's been kind of hit and miss, a little bit swingy, a little
League
bit.
of Legends 1 and 6. 1 and 4.
Hey, very effective 1 and 6.
But he got the Baron steal, and that's what matters because it lasted long enough that Ziv was able to learn how to play Kennen and figure out how to hit those big ultimates.
Honestly, as much as it's a joke, so much of the series has just been about the Baron and the LPL's extreme inability to play around Baron, to take Baron, to deny the steals on Baron. Like, they just seem so bad around that objective that it's been pretty nuts in this
comical,
series.
you'd have to say.
Because obviously it's not that it's a 5-man team, but individually you should know that you have to. I'm on a Thresh, like I should play out the J4. You know, someone needs to zone them out, like deny steals, things like this, and that's to me why the series is not over.
And communication is what I was praising them for yesterday, because against LCK looked like a super team that was just coming together, not gelling. And the communication from the LPL, their ability to play to win conditions, was significantly better. When it comes to Baron setups, LMS have been light years ahead. They've been way, way better at setting up for Barons. We showed a replay already in the last game of them taking a very decisive Baron here. When they finally went to a Baron about the 30 minutes in, 35 minutes in, they were able to gatekeep the enemy jungler from getting in the pit and rush it down when it was the right time. These are the sort of things that are allowing them to get back in after the LPL had another great early game, but just really kind of once again just didn't know how to close from there.
And it feels really cheap to say this, but I actually do think it comes to endurance and not being exhausted and keeping your focus. These are very long games, and as kind of exhausted as we are trying to figure everything out back here, you can see it on the players' faces.
It's like 4 hours 40 into the series right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And after every
Uzi
game,
was doing 1v1s before that.
That's true.
Uzi had his head down. He was scratching the back of his head trying to figure out what happened, and I can only imagine how they're feeling.
Oh, pressure is mounting, and now it is do or die match point for both of these squads. But you talk about the early game crafted by the LPL. A large factor of that early game is Mako specifically, and I want to take a look at him on this Thresh.
Yeah, so this is a signature pick for Mako. The early game looks phenomenal for the LPL, and it's in part because of the crazy plays that he's making in tandem with MLXG right there. And it wasn't just that one, it was multiple plays repeatedly.
I mean, this is in the next passage of play, and when you're starting to think of MVPs on both sides, Mako's playmaking has been consistent the entire series. Wasn't enough to get it done in this early game.
Epic by Uzi as well.
How often do you kill people with Varus ult? That doesn't happen very
rare.
Not at all. And I mean, honestly, the early game in general for their bot lane as a whole has been very strong. I think that Uzi and Mako have been laning very, very well. Like, there's individual parts that are all looking great, which is kind of what you expect at All-Stars, but it's really not been coming together, especially around objectives. It feels like there's no clear focus of what they're trying to do or maybe who's calling it, so maybe some indecision.
Right, yeah, so let's talk about those objectives, because obviously communication, we pointed out, this not being a 5-man roster that's persisted throughout the season, has had tremendous practice, yes, that minor boot camp, but communication should be expected to not be the cleanest and crispest we've ever seen, at least through the entirety of a year. But to your point, Azael, these are still professional players.
And
at the end of the day,
world.
they know what their role is when they step up to that Baron pit. Okay, I'm the Janna, I'm the Thresh. I have the ability to peel, to get that smite threat out of the pit, and that's not coming together in this instance. So for the LPL, who has been able to mount these, early game leads, is it simply decisiveness around the Baron where they need to be willing to almost take more risk and say, let's just full commit? Or are they respecting LMS too much by saying, hey, we're going to let this game extend another 15 minutes and continue to dance around these objectives?
It's too extreme. So there are instances where you are seeing that decisiveness come through, and then Carson makes a steal. That's because in the LPL, they're always going to flip coins. They're just massive gamblers, and they say, I'm the better player, so I know I'm going to make this mine. Guess what? You're not the better player than Carson. He's going to steal it time and time again from you. Or they're way too indecisive, and they fumble the setup, which goes back to the vision control, which has plagued the LPL from the very beginning.
And in terms of consistency, one consistent thing that we've seen the LMS do, ban Malzahar. Malzahar's suppression does interrupt Smite, makes it more likely that, okay, it's not a 50-50 anymore, it's an 80-20 suddenly. And that being banned has really stopped the decisive flash ults and engages. It's only just been the Annie or one-off initiators. They've never had double initiate, and I think that stopped the reliability of the turns that were working against Korea.
I just feel like, honestly, you just choose one guy. He's the shot caller. Everyone has to listen to him. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. Everyone needs to be on the same page, and that's what I'd love to see from LPL in the final game, because LMS has been so good by comparison around the Baron, both offense and defense, whether it's the steal, but also when they're taking them, they're actually zoning people out. They're working as a unit, and that's really what's shining through.
Find a singular direction. Now, on the topic of the LMS, I want to take a look at the final fight as it played out, because decisiveness being kind of the key word of this segment, LMS shows some incredible decisiveness in this moment, looking to end the game.
And again, I want to do highlights to Ziv, because it really is him hitting these cannon ultimates where he needs to get them. And Fofo does start it out there with the swoopy doop, and then he flashes away to safety. But here he comes, big cannon. That's a
Did Riv get a swoopy doop in there?
He didn't get a swoopy doop.
Riv,
Missed
I
opportunity.
am eternally disappointed in you. Let it be known. Well, he's got one more game. I guess the LMS gifted him one more game's worth of opportunities to get the swoopy dupes or the swippy swappies in there. But ultimately, BB once again coming up with the triple kill for the victory, extending it. This guy, in terms of a tournament that he's putting up as perhaps a last hurrah, pushing himself to that 5th game up against Uzi and Mako in the bot lane. He's got a tough task ahead of him, but he's performing very well.
And in terms of legacy, it's pretty cool to see him on his World Championship skin, playing the Ezreal, the signature pick, and doing great on it.
All right, down to one last game. One game separates each of these teams from ending 2017 as champions. See who can claim the crown when we return after the break.
This is now LPL territory, and they caught Karsa.
Wham! Glacial Prison locks him up. Can Carson get it? Oh! The flag drag play as Mako comes to play, and he's going to have to get to the bottom side.
Karsa can get in there.
100, 12, 6. Karsa steals the Baron. Is the fight too early? Played out. Uzi's dead immediately. Karsa with his eyes on
Here
the
he
prize.
comes.
Mako going down. Ziv is in the fight, and he says, hey, CA. Popo goes in on the flag drag. As
Gonna get in.
A shuffle. Ziv under the turret.
We got the big engage right there with the cannon.
Oh,
Even
Quadra!
That is